And I like the use of a Gantt chart. Who knows what a Gantt chart, or who doesn't know what a Gantt chart is? A couple of you, good. All right. So Henry Gantt worked in the Industrial Revolution when they started mass producing things for the first time. And he came up with a pictorial method for showing a work plan. And your reviewers, like me, might be picture-based people as opposed to text-based people. And I think it's important to put a picture as well as the words. And that's what a Gantt chart looks like. I've done this one simply in Excel. You don't need to be a fundi and get a special computer package to do it. You can just do it in Excel. Lunch, thank you. So it consists of, it consists of the what I'm going to do, the when, and the who. All right. How does it work? So remember I said objectives were operational steps. So you'd put here, don't worry what I've written, you'd put here objective 1, whatever that is. And to do that objective, you would break that down to 1 or 2 or 3 activities. So let's try and make it real. My aim is to understand the material, this composite material. Objective 1 would be to synthesize the material. Objective 2 would be to analyze or characterize the material. Number 3 would be to analyze the results. So objective 1, synthesize the material. Activity 1, do the reaction or blend the material or whatever it would be. Each of the steps you would break down. So objective 1, blend the material. How long will it take? I've done this in months. You could do it in quarters, depending how long your project. If it's a 5-year project, you would do it, say, in quarters. 4 quarters in a year, something like that. How long will it take? It's a guess. You don't know for sure. But estimate more or less. Will it take a month, 2 months, 3 months? How long am I going to set aside to do that? And the length of the bar is your estimate of time. Estimate of times all the way through. So this activity here is going to take quite a long time. Have you noticed there's nothing there and there's nothing there? That's not because I'm on holiday. It's called a time buffer. I put in a time buffer so that if something goes wrong, I can use up a bit of extra time without moving out my final deliverable over here. So I put it in after things that I'm not sure. I've set aside half of February for that activity, but I really don't know. So I put in a bit of buffer. So if something goes wrong at a high risk thing, I've got some time to absorb that problem. Okay, a time buffer. And then also notice these things don't always start after the, some can run in parallel. You can do 2 things at the same time. So don't hesitate to do that. Okay, so that's a picture of your work plan. In your grant application, you're going to describe the work plan, talking about what, when, and who. Remember, all the resources. But I'm also going to have the picture, and I put that in my grant proposal or attach it on at the end, because it shows your level of planning is detailed. And just going through that exercise, if you do it conscientiously, you'll uncover all sorts of things. Oh, I didn't think about that. I can't do that until I finish this, etc., etc. Just like when you read out your writing in public, it's suddenly, that doesn't quite gel. Okay, same sort of thing. But I also want to pick up another thing that you were saying, and not your intention, but very important. You were a reviewer. If any of you ever get a chance to be invited to review, drop everything and go. If you're about to be married, cancel it. Go and get review. It gives you an insight that you'll never get from no matter how many workshops I give you. Am I right? You see how proposals are structured. You see the winning ones for yourself. It's 100 times better than any workshop. So us scientists, me the scientist, you wouldn't do this. often criticize the social scientists and the humanities people because they're wordy and not disciplined and all of that type of stuff. You read their proposals, they're brilliant. They're so good at putting these arguments across. Get an example and really understand and benefit from it.